There's a wonderful story about Augustus that's told by the geographer Strabo. And he talks about Strabo, this Greek, being on a ship sailing past one of the tiniest of the Greek islands. And he cites this community on there, that's just a fishing village or two, as the poorest people in the Roman Empire, the poorest people in the world. And their entire tax for the community is sort of lower than the price of a cow in Roman Egypt at the time. That's it. But one of these fishermen comes on board their ship to travel to Corinth because he's heard that Augustus is there, and they'd like their tribute reduced a bit because they can't afford to pay it. But this man believes, who's come from the least important community in the entire empire, that he can go to Corinth, he can queue up, and eventually the emperor will see him, or somebody will deal with this problem, whether he'll get an answer or not. That's the system that Augustus creates, which just hadn't existed at all in the Republic, where governors came and went. They were all mostly out for a fast buck anyway, and, unless you could bribe them, you weren't going to get anything. And then the next one would come along and reverse the decision unless you bribed him as well, and so on and so on. That sense that everybody now has someone that can answer their questions, deal with their problems. It comes back to this idea that meant that somebody like Augustus and all the diligent emperors work very long, very dull hours because they're listening to all sorts of stuff. And there's a terrible backlog. I mean, it takes ages to get through all of this, but the theory is that eventually someone will actually resolve each of these, will answer every question, every petition that's made. And it's trying to extend this very personal way of dealing with things, but doing it on an empire-wide basis. And that's a remarkable achievement.